Hey. Hi, everyone. This is Renee Williams, who is grateful to be here today. And before we get started, I want to give my utmost high, the God of my understanding, his recognition. Most Heavenly Father, I thank you for allowing me to come up on this site to talk to whoever received this message, to let them know that everything is working for the good. It takes its time sometimes, but you are good. I want to thank you for all the recovering addicts all over the world, anyone that's dealing with drug issues, alcohol issues. All of us is a drug. Fentanyl is terrible. And I just thank you. I just thank you because it's Friday. You almost took us to the end of another week. I thank you for the recovery houses all over the world. I thank you for the treatment facilities all over the world. I thank you for the counselors. I thank you for the doctors. I thank you for allowing other people to care about our care. And for that, I'm grateful. Shout out to the 12-step of Narcotics Anonymous program. You've been good to everyone that's entered them doors. It's up to us to do it. It's up to us to identify. And it's up to us to take accountability for all our action. You know, I thank you. I thank you for the viewers that's going to come on here. I thank you for the ones that's going to stroll through here. And I thank you. My God, my God. I also wanted to say thank you for letting me come into your home, your room, your living room, your kitchen, wherever you catch me on. I thank you. You know, tonight is open. It's about addiction. And hey, Selena, hey, Auntie Wanda. It's about addiction. It's open. It's three words that I wanted to talk about, and that's courage, that's accountability, and responsibility, and it was one more. But anyway, we'll bring that on in as we come in. But I wanted to say thank you. I don't take this for granted. I don't do this for fame or action. I do this because I found a new me in me. Recovery has been good to all of us, not just me. I know people's is working on things. I know people's got clean time. I know people's that's celebrating months and years or just for today. I know this because I'm around meetings. I have a sponsor. You know, everything that they told me to do, I did it. I took suggestions. You know, so tonight we're just going to talk about how devious the addiction is of Narcotics Anonymous program. Because, you know, when we come into a room of the unknown, now, I get it when I say this. When we come into the room of unknown, for the peoples who have never been to a meeting, for the peoples who don't even know about treatment facilities, people that don't know about how the addiction works, don't even know about that it's called addiction, and it's a disease. You know, so, you know, when we come in, we all come in with different stories, different brokenness, different rock bottoms, different character defects, different moments that we don't know why or how we got in the shape. We got in the shape that we was in. But let me tell you something. This is why I wanted to talk about courage, responsibility, and accountability. Because you know, when we're using, we up under addiction, a chemical dependency that's done been put in our body, and somewhere is controlling the the brain and the inner count in our bodies. You know, I know that now, but I couldn't tell you that then. I couldn't tell you that that I knew it was addiction. I couldn't tell you that I studied about it because I didn't know about it. But what I can tell you, it erupted my life, my thoughts, my characters, you know, and had me disappointed almost every day that I woke up. Due to me using. Hey, Auntie Evelyn. Due to me using. So that's why I said, you know, it take courage. People don't realize that when we've been drinking and using drugs for so long, it become a part of our character. It become a part of us. You know, and we create different demons and we create different atmospheres when we get around people. It create a lot of different things to where people know that we have a problem. They know that we use and they don't know what we're using unless it's a family member that see us drink, to see us get high, you know. But when we come into recovery, we walked in the unknown. We walked in an unknown situation. All we know that we hurt. All we know that we shame. All we know that they, you know, that somewhere we took responsibility of our actions to go in a treatment facility and talk to some people that we don't even know about our addiction. You know, and when we get into treatment, you know, we realize how much strength we have. And it started off with the courage to go to treatment and to admit that we had a problem. And for that, that's taking accountability for your actions of what you are going to create in your life so you can stay clean. It ain't easy, but it ain't hard neither. When you just think about the lows, when you think about the bottoms, when you think about how you created a place in your life where you couldn't stop using something. You know, but one thing I know about God, if you trust God, the God of my understanding will direct your path, but it's up to you to receive it. You know, some of us get hard-headed. That's why I stayed using so long. That's why some of stayed drinking so long. That's why some of us stayed shooting up so long. That's why some of us couldn't let go of the pills. That's why some of us couldn't let go of the fentanyl. You know, because of the disease of an addiction. Where the body craves what it's been used to. And it's always lingering for something new. It's always lingering for something new, something different, so we can create other problems. Always. Hey, Kenny. Always. And that's what I realized when I couldn't stop. That I tried everything. Anything that would make me feel better and would take away the pain. You know, some people can do it like that. They can start drinking and they can stop. You know, but your lows and your bottoms wasn't like mine. Your deception of another person that hurt us, you might not have experienced that. Or you have been denied or rejected from peoples that have hurt you, that you love the most have hurt you. You might not went through that. But I tell you something. In the moment of you living and getting older, you will experience all these things. Denial, detachment, hurt after hurt after hurt. You know, and I noticed that this chemical dependencies that we put these drugs in our bodies, and it shifts our membrane so we can think the way the drug want us to think. So the disease will capture our brain and make us think that we really need this drug to go through another day. Or we really need a drink to make it from morning to night. But we have to learn how to take accountability and recognize pain. Pain comes to everybody. Pain comes to the elders. It comes to us. The pain comes to little kids. Pain comes to teenagers. And we have to find a way to manifest it so it won't take over our whole mind. And then we start depending on something to help us out. Talking about me. And I know if you're in recovery, I'm talking about you too. Because see, recovery takes us to another place in life. It makes us do the thing that we had no idea that we would have ever done. And I mean, I done it. I mean, anything, y'all done it. The ones that's in recovery, the ones that's been struggling, or the ones that found themselves couldn't stop it. I'm talking to you too. Hey, Vicky, I'm talking to you too. Because see, I don't know why people think that because you ain't on drugs, that somebody that you love will not get on drugs. Or somebody that you care, or your daughter, or your son, or your nephew, or your cousin, or your mama, or your daddy will not be on drugs and alcohol. Alcohol is a drug. Weed is a drug. Fentanyl is a drug. Pills is a drug. You know, definitely cocaine is a drug. All of us are drugs. And when you get a point in your life that you can't stop, then you know you are dependent on something that's greater than you at that time to continue you to use. So that's why I said responsibility, courage, and accountability plays a big part in the addiction world. You know, because I had to face all of it. I had to face denial. I had to face accountability. I had to face corruption in my life, the things that I did to get the drugs and drink the alcohol. I had to face the responsibility of getting my life together because, see, can't nobody do it for you. So I'm just telling you straight up, your mama can't do it, your sister can do it, your daddy can't do it. They can pray for you. And I know I had some prayer warriors in my family because we was raised up in the church. And I'm so glad I had a mama that taught us to lean and depend on God so he can carry us out when we go through struggles. You know, the struggles ain't just for me. Struggles is for everybody. Ain't nobody exempt from struggles. Don't think you the only one. I heard a person, she was crying, and I was crying with her. Wanted to know why everything that we do, that we serve him, we love God, we trust God, we know God, we have the connection with God, and it seemed like we still, when one hurdle come, here come another. When another hurdle come, here come another. The hurdles are to make us strong. I didn't know that. I had to learn that. And let me tell you why I know that's true. Because in my addiction world, all I thought about was getting high. All I thought about was lying. All I thought about was manipulating somebody to get my choice. Until I found the God of my understanding that came into my life, into my heart, and helped me connect with him. To have the will to listen and to change my mind frame. Addiction is bad, y'all. When I look on the TV, I saw a young girl again, and you know, she had to go to the hospital to take the thing out of her mama's throat. Her mama was already kind of brain dead. But yet you telling your daughter that you got to come and take her off the machine. Hey, Denise, take her off the machine. Because your mother have overdosed off of fentanyl. And you just can't see yourself being without your mama, or you can't see yourself being without your friend, or you can't see yourself going to the hospital to take her off the machine that's keeping her heart beating, and it's up to you. That's why I say sometimes we are so selfish. I was selfish. I put it on me. I was selfish. Because in my act of using, I didn't think about nobody but me. I didn't think about Felicia, Johnny, and Wayne. I didn't think about Peggy Bayless, Peggy Pittman. I didn't think about my sister or my brother. All I thought about was my selfish deed, my selfish need. When everybody I know got a family. And I felt so sorry for this girl because she's driving and got to make a decision to pull her mama off a machine because her mama had been doing fentanyl all this time. And it's sad. Even when I looked at my life, you selfish person. You and God created these 3 kids, but yet you killing yourself because you don't want to recognize that we have a disease, and the disease is called addiction. How selfish. How selfish somebody can be when we steal from our loved ones, when we lie to our loved ones, when we take from our loved ones. You know, that's the part of the disease. The disease of addiction took us places that sometimes we don't want to have to deal with or think about. But in your recovery, working them steps. Thank God for the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. It take us to a place till we just don't care. We don't care what nobody say about us. We don't care how nobody think about us. We don't care when people tell us we need to get ourselves together. We don't care when somebody love us, tell us that we need to stop drinking or stop using or stop hurting ourselves or stop killing ourselves. To me, when a person tell me something that I already know, that's love. Because see, I already know I got a problem. I know y'all had a problem. That's why we all meet up at a certain place and we call unity, and we all deal with our situations and our problems in so many other ways, but we all connected by one word, and that's the disease of an addiction. So all the peoples, my mother, everybody that told me, Renee, get yourself together. My mother used to say, Renee, I'm praying for you, but you need to leave them drugs along. You're not looking too good. Your skin done turned completely dark. You know, you isolate yourself. You don't even answer the phone when I call. Please stop. It ain't nothing else they can do but pray for us or keep telling us. But see, the prayer worked for me. I always tell people there ain't nothing greater than prayer. I don't care how you think. I'm telling you about me. Because my addiction was terrible. I woke up every day to go try to find something to use. Something so I didn't have to deal with me. I didn't have to deal with the pain. I didn't have to deal with the addiction. I didn't have to deal with the shame. I didn't have to deal with the bottoms that I kept putting myself in. And I realized one thing. Can't nobody make you stop. That's something that you're going to have to want to do yourself. All they can do is talk to us and love us about the addiction of disease manifest in us to create different personalities, to create more problems, to create more not being stable. I wasn't stable. Depression set in. Anxiety set in. More addiction came about, set in. So the more I used, the more I wanted to use, because the chemical dependency of the drugs and the alcohol that we put in our bodies is craving all through the day. I know it was a craving thing because when I went in treatment for the 28 days, I still was craving every day I was in there. Satan was trying to get me out of there. It was time that I wanted to leave the treatment facility and leave because the craving had got so bad. So can't nobody tell me this disease of an addiction ain't real. Because every time you go on Facebook, it's about recovery. It's about changing your life. It's about living in a situation where you got to make a decision for a loved one of yours because they are dealing with addiction or they overdose. That's all I see. I see all the other goofy and nasty stuff and all that funny stuff. I love the funny stuff, but the fighting and the ugliness and all that, I just keep going. But when it comes to recovery, I always got to stop that page. Because there go I. That was me. That was me. Couldn't find my way to a God of my understanding help me. You know, see, I had to learn that if family drank, I can't drink. If family use, I can't use. They haven't came to a part that they got a problem, so their problem can't be my problem because I'm too much working on my problem. So I had to learn that the disease of an addiction is cunning, baffled, and powerful. That it is. Because I got friends right now that's still struggling with the drugs and alcohol. And I done moved on. That don't mean I'm better than them at all. It just means that I took accountability for my actions and my disease of an addiction. Because I don't think nobody better than nobody. I don't care what kind of education you got, disease of an addiction can get you too. I don't care if you're a doctor, the disease of an addiction can get you too. I don't care if you're a lawyer making big time more money. The disease of an addiction can come into your life and take that all away. I don't care if you're the best mom. The disease of an addiction can come and steal that away too. I don't care if you're a school teacher. The list go on. I don't care if you're a machine operator. I don't care what you are. The disease of an addiction, once you allow it to come into your life, can change your whole world and your whole outlook on life. It did it to me. And I know you're not better than me. And I know I'm not better than you. But I know I wanted something different than you. The God that loves me. I'm so glad. See, the reason I kept using, I knew of God. I used to cry to God. I know that He loved me. But I didn't have a connection with God. That was the whole key. I did not have a connection with God. And see, when you have a connection with God, and see, God is all in these 12-step program. I heard a man say the other day, well, you know what? You know, I woke up and it was at a meeting. I know I woke up, but I don't believe in God. Them his words. And I was sitting there and everybody kind of looked. I was sitting there, I don't believe in God. I believe of the universe. I don't believe in God. Remember, I always have to keep the focus on, we all always have to keep the focus on ourselves. Because if we focus on a person saying something, doing something, we'll lose the focus off us. And when that person said, I don't believe in God, I got up this morning, I listened to him, I sat there, I was burning up to talk. Renee, keep the focus on you. Renee, keep the focus on you. How can you not believe in a man that woke you up? How can you not believe you in a 12-step program and God is all in that program, but yet you sit there amongst 30 or 40 people, newcomers too, and tell them that you don't believe in God? Man, I was pissed in the inside. But I had to hold on to it. Because the God of my understanding, I work to meet him. I work to serve him. I work to understand him. I work to have that connection with him when it came to this disease of an addiction. And then once I started reading the step, God was all in the step. So how can a person tell newcomers and how can a person tell people that they don't believe in God? Mess my whole understanding up. I don't care what you believe, but when you got newcomers in the room and you tell them you don't believe in God, I'm scared for you. But yet I still have to keep the focus on me. And I just sit there as this person talked and you was talking about how grateful you was. And we talk about how good it feels to be clean. And we talk about how we make good decisions every day. We talk about how we do U-turns, back and forth, U-turns for the good. We talk about how God has stabled you enough to where you can manifest and hold a job, where God got your health and strength good, where he's have helped you get off of drugs for these years, and you don't believe about God. You don't understand that the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program is a spiritual connection with God. God is all in the 12-step program, and yet you tell newcomers that you don't believe in God. Now that hit something. But I had to respect him because that's his thought and his words. I had to respect that. So when it was my turn to talk, I said, let me tell you about this disease of an addiction. When I was at my bottom, when I was at my plenty of lows, when I wanted to take my own life, hey, can somebody come get him? No, you come on. When we go to our lows, when I went to my lows, just let me talk, y'all, let me talk. When I came to my lows, it wasn't nobody else that can change my mind. It wasn't nobody else that can love me like the way he was loving on me. It wasn't nobody else. This disease of an addiction was tearing me apart. It was killing me. Day after day, it was taking all my worth. It was taking all my want. It was taking accountability to even think right. And I'm going to tell y'all newcomers, it's all about God. It's every bit about God. Some people think it's about them. Some people think that they woke themselves up this morning. Some people think that they can do this without God. And the ones that think they can do that, that's why you keep coming in and out of the doors, or you get a few years and you go back because you don't have the connection with the 12-step program, and God is all in it. I had to tell them, he the reason why y'all sitting here. He the reason why you have a treatment facility that I come to speak in, because y'all all sitting here, men's and women's, all due to the God of your understanding. Because I know a lot of my friends used to sit here too, and they're not here no more. He the only one that took all the different diseases, all the different, he took away all the addictions that I had. When I tell you, could nobody else do that but God? And you gonna tell these newcomers that's coming in struggling with their life and what they going through, and why can't they get it together? Why do they keep bumping their own head? Why do they create all these obstacles that's in their life that keep them bumping their head over and over again? And you gonna tell them that you did this all on your own? No, let me tell you something, babies. The God of my understanding is the reason why I'm here. How do you tell newcomers that you don't believe in God, but yet you tell me you know about the third step? Yet you tell me you know about the first step? Yet you tell me you know about the second and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth step? You said you work your program. You said you love the 12-step program, and all this in the 12-step program is God. Some people just don't realize what they say. But I had to say something. Because see, the God I know woke me up this morning, allow me to get into my book, to read my steps, to understand the principles as well as the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. You know, we got another set of principles they call the 12-step principles. And I'm going to start on that next week. I want to go through the 12-step principles. Because a lot of people don't even know what the 12-step principle is. And God has fixed me up, molded me, carried me, helped me, for me to get you to understand about the 12-step principles. Because it's all connected. The principles is one set. The traditions is another set. And the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous is another step. And a lot of people I talk to say, hey, Renee, what's the 12 principles? Renee, what's the 12 traditions? The 12 tradition talks about the disease of an addiction, but it also talk about the tradition, what we can and cannot do in the Narcotics Anonymous program. So now I'm finna switch it up, because now I need to get a great understanding how people know about the 12-step program, but they need to know about the 12 principles, the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, and the 12 traditions. See, when I give it to you, I want to give it all, so you will have a better understanding. So when you look at, like, you know, when I'm going to talk about on Sunday, you know, step 10, and that talk about it talks about preservation, and it talks about something else. I can't remember, but I'm going to give that to you on Sunday. And you know, and that's the principle part of it. When I come and tell you the principle tells you what that step is all about, how you can connect that step. But a lot of people just focus on the 12 step of Narcotics Anonymous. But now I need to talk about the 12 traditions, the 12 principles, and the 12-step program, so they can get a better understanding on what is the 12-step principles. And it's all about unity, what we should do together, how this works as a unity program. So I need to start, or either I maybe take 15 or 20 minutes, because I don't want to take away from the 12-step program, but I don't want to leave the 12 traditions and the 12 principle out neither. So maybe I'll just take a 15 of something minutes to tell you about, maybe next week I'll just do a little bit of the principles, because the principles are very important. See, I'm not going to ever go into a meeting and tell a bunch of newcomers that I don't believe in God. But yet I'm talking out of step 1. Meant that we are powerless over our addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable. Then we go on and say, come to believe that a greater power than ourselves, who I choose to call God, because that's what's mentioned all through the literature. No, don't get my peoples messed up. And I had to come right behind him, respect what he said, but I didn't understand or believe what he was saying. See, when you have nurtured you, it's our job to give nurture back to other recovering addicts that's going to come in like I came in, of the unknown, of the disease of an addiction. The disease is counting and baffled, and they know we already depressed. We know we dealing with depression and anxiety. We know we dealing with isolation, and Satan is a demon. He know how to come into your life and you doing good, and all of a sudden he wants you back so bad that he'll create hurt, he'll create pain, he'll create different thoughts, he'll create urges for us to get pulled back in. But honey, they don't know me. Ain't nothing else gonna take me to the bottom that I came from. Ain't nothing else gonna be allowed to destroy me. What right do I have to give drugs all the glory? And what right do I have to tell the drugs that you are better than the God of my understanding? I don't know how you think I can do that when I tell you that I'm living a 12-step program. It's no way. This disease that our kids is dealing with, the alcohol, the drugs, the pills, it's everywhere. Hey, Trish, my cousin. I love you, baby. I love everybody on here. Her mother, Evelyn, I love you. But Trish, I pray for you every day. I'm real proud of my cousin. Because see, don't nobody know what the inside bodies go through. Don't nobody know how we dealing with the pain and the hurt. And not even, we're going to go a little further than that. It ain't just a part of hurting and pain, but just go through the drama things that we have seen in our life and have been through. And then it all comes up. When Satan is putting that pressure on us, it all comes to a surface to where I just can't handle it no more. That's why I work on my program. That's why I stay in my books. That's why I still go to a meeting. That's why I got a sponsor. That's why I got a group. It's called the NA Group of Narcotics Anonymous Program, AACANA. See, I couldn't do all this alone. I know God loves me, and I know God is so big, he can handle anything and everything. But he said when he gave Bill that pressure, that written notice to do AA, Narcotics Anonymous program, he had faith that we peoples, as peoples, was going to need some extra help, was going to need some extra steps to help guide our lives and take us through a good journey in recovery. Now, let me tell you something. I got days where, I don't want to be bothered. Now, if I tell you that I'm in recovery, that I can't get like that, I'm lying to you. I am lying to you. If I tell you I'm hurting, if I tell you that I'm struggling for that day, if I tell you that I'm going through something, but see, what I can tell you, the things that I used to help me get through it, I don't need that no more. Because when you get a connection with God and start turning your life over and letting God take control, then you don't think the same way, you don't work the same way, and you don't deal the same way. But see, at one time, I was just serving Satan. The demon that's in disguise that can come as a spiritual demon so he can kill, steal, and destroy and take our lives. I mean, I went through something with him. I don't even like the man. I don't even want to know the man, but I know what he can do. I know he can turn a good point. He can turn a good person into a bad person. And the person ain't really bad. Let me twist that too. He can take a good person and make their decisions in their life turn out to be bad. See, I ain't blaming nothing on Satan. I take all courage to tell y'all that it was God of my understanding that I reached out to, that I had a connection to, that I talked to, that I learned to depend on him through the 12-step program, because he was going to make things right. You know, sometimes God can take wrongs and make them right. Or sometimes we just don't see that situation. I heard another guy said, I was mad at God, and I didn't like God. When they closed the casket on the loved one that I love, why can't a pastor? Why couldn't nobody help me? Why couldn't nobody, make me feel different? All these people's made me feel the same. I've been hurt ever since that casket closed. But let me tell you something. When we leave this world, we can't take nothing with us but our soul. And it can go to God or it can go to the spiritual demon. And I know for a fact that I've already know what it is to burn my life up. And I don't want to find myself burning my life up over and over again every day. So this is why I live right and do right. The 12 steps of narcotics tell us how to deal with any problem that we're going through. How? How do I deal? How did I deal? I was mad at God for a long time. So I know that feeling. I know the feeling of being angry with God. I know the feeling by not liking God. At that time, how could I? I was hurt. I was shamed. I was in pain. I didn't care. So how can I love a God when I wasn't even loving myself? You explain that to me. So I understand when people say stuff like that. But once you get to know the God of our understanding, then it's to understand and learn and love about the God that does the loving the most. Because he loved me when I didn't even know what love was about. I thought love was liking somebody or having a kid and loving them. I didn't know love when it come to me. I didn't nurture me. Y'all didn't nurture you. Y'all didn't even take care of you. Y'all just did with the flow. Whoever got high and drank, that's what you did. Whoever partied and got high, that's what you did. So how can I tell you that I was in love with a guy who I call God when I turned my back on him all them years? But guess what he did? Instead of him end up being like me, he helped send me and introduce me to a 12-step program that would hurry up in time and connect me with him, and then read the steps and read the basic text and read the steps of Narcotics Anonymous program and help me to understand we got a choice. We got a choice. And my choice, well, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of carrying everybody's weight around. I'm tired of nurturing everybody when I didn't even nurture myself. I'm tired of holding all the secrets in. I'm tired of carrying it. Some of these things, I tell y'all some things, but I can't tell you everything, because if I tell you everything that I've done, you will talk about me, probably create more stuff about me. So I tell you what God tells me to tell you. Some things I'm just going to take to the grave. Some things I can't tell you, because the ugliness that comes in us through the addiction, through the disease of an addiction, is horrifying. Yeah, I stuck my hand through a crack door and got some crack. Yeah. I went to the alcohol and bought some alcohol. Yeah, I pop pills every day so I can be high. Yeah, I can tell you I did all that. But I can't tell you everything that I did in the midst of being up under the influence of all them difficult things. Chemical dependency things. So some things we tell and some things we take to the grave. But I can tell you this, if you think you wake yourself up in the morning, if you tell me nobody keeping that breath in your body, when you tell me you go to the 12-step program and you get up and talk about from 1 to 12 that God ain't in it, then I'll stop calling his name. But see, I know that ain't going to happen, because he in the whole and it ain't just, let me tell you something, it ain't just dealing with drugs and alcohol. It's dealing with behaviors. How do we get a behavior with the chemical dependency of drugs or to isolate? How do we get a behavior to get mad at everybody, at the world, because of what we doing and the pain that we going through? How do we turn around and not like nobody and love nobody and become to hate people? How do you tell? The God of my understanding was trying to get in and we never let him in. Because he can help you in all situations. When all altering move substance try to creep in your life, I can go around people and I'll be fine. I tell you all the time, I hate walking past somebody and smell that weed. That is the nastiest. I mean, when I was smoking weed didn't smell like that. But that stuff they doing now, it's actually stank. It makes me want to throw up. I ain't never used it. I ain't never going back. When the greatest thing that I loved was my mother before I had my kids, that was a time in my life, I promise y'all, that pain was so great. I wanted to escape. I wanted to die. Because it was things that I could have done. It was things that I should have done. It was things that I shouldn't done. And that drilled on me. So never take people's dying for granted. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because see, they'll be gone and you got to live with it. I hate I never took my mom on a boat trip. There's some things I hate. I hate some things I said to my mama when I got mad. If I can change her, if she can come into me right now, which she do all the time, but I'm talking about on the physical part, I would get down on my knees and worship her and say, Mama, I'm so sorry. Because see, Mama, I was dealing with pain. I was dealing with some pain that you knew nothing about. And Mama, if I could take the things that I said and did, Mama, if I can just talk to you and tell you all the things that I know I can't, Mama, if I can just tell you how sorry I was for not letting you come in and shutting you out when I was going through my pain. It was a lot of things my mama didn't know that I had been subjected to. It was a lot of stuff that my mama didn't know nothing about because I didn't tell her. I know what this addiction will do. That's why I get on here. I don't care if one person come on here. That's that one person I might can reach. I don't need 1,000 people. I ain't trying to get paid by Facebook. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm trying to do the will of my high power to get the message out about this disease of an addiction. It's killing our peoples. It's killing our kids. It's making us make bad decisions. It's making us hurt peoples. It's a reason why I come on here. It's a reason why I don't miss. It's a reason why I'm obligated. It's a reason why I love to come on here. And it helps me too. If I want to cry, I'll cry. I don't care about having no audience. Tears free me. If you see me crying, it's a tear for joy because I ain't what I used to be. There's no way I can tell you that I'm what I used to be because I used to didn't care if you cared. That's why I know I ain't the way I used to be. I don't accept bull crap because I accepted it so long. You know, recovery teaches us we don't have to accept anything. But we have to find a way to deal with it differently. We have to find a way to deal with it differently. Because see, when I went through things, or say people's made me mad, or I found out they talked about me, or I found somebody hurting me and rulicate me, the first thing I wanted to do was go get high. That's why I know I ain't that person. Because see, Satan, you know, once you get clean, you start getting 6 months, 30 days, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and then you get a year, then you get multiples a year. Satan working on you. He'll come through your mama. He'll come through your daddy. He'll come through your kids. He'll come through family members to break you so you can go back. He don't like us trying to get out of a struggle or trying to keep our heads above water. He don't like it when we go to a meeting. Meeting makers make it. I went through any length to get high. I went through any length to lie to get some more drugs. I went through any length to walk in the street at night looking for some crack. I went through any length in my lifetime to buy some pills or go to the doctors and get some pills, not for the right thing, but for all the wrong things. Can't nobody tell me about the God of my understanding. Because I need them both. I need him and I need the 12-step program. I need the 12-step principles. I need the 12 traditions. So when people try to tell me something, I'm not going to argue with you about your belief. But I'm not going to let you send out some misinformation to a newcomer. That I would never do. I'm going to always talk up. Because I know the reason why everybody in this room is because of God. He introduced us to the 12-step program. He knew Satan was going to do what he do to get us all loose and racket in the head and depression and anxiety due to the drugs and the pills and the alcohol. But when you serve a high power, a God of my understanding like me, you can overcome anything. It's hope. I had courage to build all the hope I could because I didn't want to use no more. Using for me was devastating. Couldn't tell the truth. Couldn't get my financial situation right. I kept hurting people that truly loved me. I kept making bad turns after bad turns on a daily basis. I couldn't nurture, or we couldn't nurture ourselves because we was too busy getting high. couldn't turn hate into love because I was still not loving myself. Because see, when you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. Can't nobody tell me you can. Because when you don't love yourself, you let anybody or anything come into your life and make your life a turmoil. And drugs was one of the obstacles. It was the disease of an addiction. And then on top of that, I let fake friends in. I let fake men that said that they was godly or they don't do drugs. But you did. I accepted every kind of worst friend you can have when I was on drugs. Sure enough, I took in all different spirits. I let everybody walk in my house. Never that again. Only way evil can come in your house if you allow it to. And I allowed many people with evil spirits to come in because I was living in an evil world of my own thinking, using drugs, manipulating, hurting people, sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry. Hey, I got to keep it real because my life is a testimony. Got shot in the face with a .357 due to drugs. I'm still here through the God of my understanding. Lost a kidney due to alcohol and drugs. I got clean and got another one. So can't nobody tell me about the possibilities that can happen in your life when you start making good U-turns and you start nurturing yourself and you start giving yourself the best, when you start taking accountability for your own action, when you stop blaming everybody else for saying something or doing something. We easy to take on people because you hurt me, you want to go get high. Because you hurt me, now you hurt. Get with it. In this life, even in your recovery, you still gonna be hurt. That don't exempt you from hurt. That just teaches you how to deal with it differently. Now I ain't gotta cuss you out. I learned I can leave you alone instead of let you still come in and hurt me. See, that's when we start nurturing ourselves. When we start nurturing ourselves, we start taking accountability and we admit that we have a problem and we take accountability that I need to make a difference. I need to get some courage. And I had to get some courage. I had to find a new way to live because the way I was living wasn't nurturing me at all. I had been nurturing people all my life. And I still find myself nurturing people right now. Especially people that I love. Sometimes when I used to then bite my tongue about something, I hold it now. But then I have to rethink it and try to bring it back to you in a different way. Or sometimes I just won't say nothing. Because I'm still dealing with that hurt that I'm learning how to let go of. See, the God of your understanding can come into your life and change everything. You know, change the way you think, change the things you do, change the way you do things. You know, you gotta forgive. I can forgive a person. I forgave many because God forgave me. So we have to play it forward. The same way God treat us, we got to treat other people. I like being in recovery. I like my support group. I like all the different meetings that I done went through all over the world. I like knowing I ain't by myself. I'm like that I can still have struggles, but it ain't the same struggles I had with the drugs and alcohol, see. That was a big struggle. I like making U-turns on my life when I know that I ain't never got to use again. I like dealing with life-term things that happens on a daily basis, but I didn't have to pick up behind it. See, I found a way to live and take responsibilities of the actions that I create in my life that's better reaction than the ones that I used to have. I don't have all these characters. I don't have all these demons. I don't have that no more. I have a clear way to think. And that's only due to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. He taught me so many different things, and that step taught me, it brought me, first of all, closer to the God of my understanding. And for that, I'm ever grateful. The 12 steps helped me to find out about me, about you. Some of y'all still ain't dealing with y'all demons. Some of y'all still ain't dealing with y'all character defects. Some of y'all still ain't dealing with your personal defects, your personalities. Because sometimes y'all bring it in the meeting. When I go into meetings for one thing, to hear a story, to give a story about how I turned my life over to the care of God as I understand Him. I am so grateful. When I tell y'all how grateful I am, sometimes I look around and I look at my house and I look at my spiritual body. I go in my room and I look at this. I look up under the toilet and see I got tissue paper running over. When I was using drugs and alcohol, I had to find a paper bag, or I had to find a plastic bag, something to wipe my butt, because I didn't even have a roll of tissue paper. And back there, tissue paper was 25 cents. Insane, out of order, insane, and out of order, that I would even go mess in the toilet knowing I ain't got no tissue paper. What you say, Renee? Insane. Now I look up under there, and now I don't never want it to run out. I always have an overflow. Because it's a reminder when I couldn't even find one roll of tissue paper. People think that's funny. It wasn't funny. It was insane. It was that the character of my defects hadn't changed. I was still holding on to pain, grief. I was still holding on to dishonesty. I was still holding on to denial. I was still holding on to a lot of things that I couldn't even explain until I got to the 12-step program. And it taught me how to work a program. It taught me how to surrender. It taught me how to accept things that I cannot change and the courage to change the things that I can. Y'all, it taught me a lot. If I had still been like me, without the drugs, listen, I'm just going to say this. If I just leave the drugs alone, come on, Renee. If I just leave the drugs alone and was still like I was, I wouldn't be no good. Because I took what everybody said personal. I don't take nothing personal. Your opinion is your own. It only matters how I feel and how I think. Long as I ain't using, is in my favor. I had to pull some encouragement. I hear my baby Nene talking. That's one of the girls I just done took up under my wing. I love her so. She working the program. She got her kids just like I got mine. Hey, Ken. Hey, Johnson. Can't never say your name. But you know what? If I had left the drugs alone and was here, I hadn't worked on nothing. I'm so glad that I got clean, that I live a productive life. The disease of an addiction don't have a hold on me no more. Let me deal what I got to deal with. without the drugs and alcohol. See, that's how powerful we become. That's to strengthen us. That's to strengthen us. And had we not went through the bottom, and had we not went through the things that we went through, we wouldn't have the courage to make a difference. At all. So I ain't only glad that I stopped using drugs, I'm glad that I worked on all my character defects, all my personal defects that I had. Because see, when you talk to me, it don't matter how you feel about me. It took me a long time, and it might take you some long time to get the same way. But when you serve a God of my understanding, He'll work it all out where you ain't got to do nothing. I just pray and go on about my business. You think the way you want to think. You hold on to what you want to hold on to. But I ain't letting y'all carry me in it. I ain't holding on to nothing. It is what it is. The God of my understanding came into my life and changed everything. He didn't just change the drug and alcohol. He changed the growth in me. He changed the way I think. He changed the way I react to a situation. He changed the way I be kind and nice to somebody. You know, because I could be mean and hateful when I wanted to. Ask my family. But when a God come into your life, that's where people see the change. But I don't care if they don't ever see it. I see it, I live it, and I think it. So that's what the God of my understanding have done for me since I've been clean, going on 36 years now. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I ain't used to be. I'm not what I used to be. I'm grateful that I don't think the way I used to think. I'm thankful that I don't see, that I don't sleep with everybody man but my own. Hey, y'all hear me? So I'm grateful for a lot of things, not just using drugs and alcohol. God worked on me. He's still working on me. And there's so many things that He have changed about me into the 12-step program that I'm amazed. I'm amazed how I used to let people say anything and push my button. And there I ran off to the race to go get high, go get a drink, go pop a proof pills. I ain't got to do that. I can deal with you with naturally love now. Because when God teaches us how to nurture ourselves, we become love. And we share that with people. So thank y'all. I done went over. Thank y'all so very much. I love y'all. This is Miss Renee. They call me Mama Tutu. This is Miss Renee. And when I tell you have a purpose in your life, take accountability and be responsible for your own actions or the way you think, the way you hurt people, the way you talk to people, and the way you let a person talk to you. Change come upon yourself, not through somebody else. May God continue to bless y'all. I love y'all. Love everybody who came on my site. My auntie, my families, Evelyn, Wanda, Trisha, cousin Trish, Johnson. I saw Denise Harris. Now, these just the ones I see. But as the night goes, so many of them, I can never just thank everybody. So I thank you through this site. Thank you for letting me come into your room, to your house, to your bathroom, wherever you pick me up. I am so grateful because just those don't help you. It helps me too. It reminds me why I am grateful and why I love the God of my understanding. May y'all have a good night. I'm getting ready to cast off. I'll see y'all Sunday. We are on step 10 and step 10 tells me step 10 is, I always break it to you, it's about, step 10 tells you, let me give y'all the things so you'll know what I'm working on. And next week I'll start doing a little bit of the 12 principle. But step 10, it talks about perseverance and acceptance. So that's step 10. And continue to take a personal inventory when we were wrong and promptly admit it. So this is what step 10 is. And that's a good one for me. You know, I say that about everyone because all the steps are good. May God continue to bless you, Nene, all y'all. Stay safe, stay standing, and don't let nobody come into your world and mess it up. Don't let nobody steal your joy. The peace you got, you earned it, keep it. May God bless you. Y'all have a good night. See y'all on Sunday at 2 o'clock.